Now next, the cricoid cartilage. This is the cricoid cartilage. It is situated below the thyroid cartilage and it lies at the level of the C6. C6. At the lower border of the cricoid cartilage, the pharynx becomes the esophagus, while the larynx becomes the trachea. This cricoid cartilage, this is the cricoid cartilage, it is a signet-shaped ring of the cartilage. Signet shape. And it is the only cartilage of the larynx that completely encircle the lumen of the larynx. Completely encircle the cavity of the larynx. The one cartilage, that is the cricoid cartilage. This is the lumen. Anteriorly, this is the anterior view and this is the posterior view. Anteriorly, it is narrow and this is known as the arch of the cricoid cartilage. This is the arch of the cricoid cartilage. While posteriorly, it is broad. This is the posterior view, this is the cricoid cartilage, and that is known as the lamina. Lamina. So cricoid cartilage, anteriorly it is the arch, while the posteriorly broader part, it is the lamina. Now this is the posterior surface of the lamina, and this posterior surface is divided into two halves by a median eminence. It is the two halves. It has the upper border and the lower border of the lamina. And this is the upper border of the lamina which articulates with the arytenoid cartilage. This is the arytenoid cartilage on the both sides. It is the pair cartilage. This is the articulating surface of the arytenoid cartilage. Forms the synovial joint, cricoarytenoid joint. While on the both lateral side, this articulates with the inferior horn of the thyroid cartilage, that is the thyrocricoid joint. It is an example of the synovial joint. And this cricoid cartilage is considered as the foundation stone of the larynx. So this cartilage, which completely encircle the laryngeal cavity, laryngeal lumen, is considered as the foundation stone of larynx. So it has the arch and the lamina. The lamina is posteriorly situated, and on the upper border of the lamina, it is rests the arytenoid cartilage. At the arytenoid cartilage, it rests the corniculate, and above the corniculate, it is the cuneiform. So corniculate, arytenoid, and the cuneiform are present posteriorly. Now the arytenoid cartilage. This is the arytenoid cartilage. These are the paired cartilage. And this arytenoid cartilage, it is pyramidal in shape. Pyramidal in shape. It has an apex and the base. The apex is directed upward, while the base rests or form the joint with the lamina of the cricoid cartilage. It has a three surface: anterolateral surface, posterior surface, and the medial surface. Now the important point is from the base of the ethmoid cartilage there is a two process. It is important. It is the vocal process and the muscular process. And these parts are the elastic cartilage. This vocal process is directed anteriorly. Means it is directed towards the lumen of the larynx, cavity of the larynx. While this muscular process is directed laterally. It is laterally and it is anteriorly. Now, this vocal process provides attachment to a ligament, and that ligament is the vocal ligament. So, vocal ligament, one end is attached to this vocal process of this cartilage, while the anterior end is attached to the posterior surface of the thyroid angle. As we know, there are two arytenoid cartilages, so there are two vocal ligaments. Above this vocal process to the anterolateral surface, there is another ligament attached, that is the vestibular ligament. Vestibular ligament. So, vocal ligament and the vestibular ligaments posteriorly both are attached to this arytenoid cartilage. Difference is one is attached to the tip of the vocal process, that is the vocal ligament, while another is attached above this vocal process at the anterolateral surface, and this is the vestibular ligament, while the anterior end of these two ligaments, both vocal and the vestibulars, as we discussed earlier, are attached to the thyroid cartilage. Where to thyroid cartilage? It is the posterior surface of the thyroid angle. While this muscular process, it is directed laterally, and the importance of this muscular process, there are two important muscles. One is attached to the posterior surface of this muscular process, and one is attached to the anterior surface of this muscular process. These two muscles are the intrinsic muscles of the larynx. The posterior, it is the posterior cricoalpinoid. Posterior cricoalpinoid. Name indicates these muscles connect the cricoid cartilage with the arytenoid cartilage, and it is attached on the posterior surface of this arytenoid cartilage on the muscular process. While the anteriorly these muscles, it is the lateral cricoalpinoid. So the posterior, it is the posterior cricoalpinoid, and in front it is the lateral cricoalpinoid muscles. These are the two important muscles attached on the muscular process of this arytenoid cartilage. Now the epiglottis. This is the epiglottis, complete feature. This is the epiglottis. This epiglottis, it is a leaf shape. In adult, it is the leaf-shaped elastic cartilage, while in children, infant, it is the omega shape. It is elastic cartilage present obliquely. This is the anterior surface. Behind is the posterior surface. This is the position, obliquely placed. It has the lower end and the upper end. This upper end lies behind the hyoid bone and root of the tongue. while the lower end, that is the pointed, upper end broad, lower end comes in contact with the posterior surface of the thyroid angle and is connected with the thyroepiglottic ligaments, while the upper end lies behind the hard bone as well as the root of the tongue. It has a two surface. It is the leaf shaped, so it has a two surface. In front anterior surface and behind posterior surface towards the laryngeal inlet. Now, if you remember the class of the oropharynx, the anterior surface of this epiglottis is connected with the base of the tongue, root of the tongue, by the three folds. These are two are lateral, one is the median. It is the glossoepiglottic fold. Glossoepiglottic fold. And between this glossoepiglottic fold, there is a depressed area. This is the vallecula. Vallecula. So, simply say between the epiglottis and the tongue, there is the two depressions bounded by this fold. This depressions, it is the vallecula, and the folds, it is the glossoepiglottic fold. Now, this is it has the two lateral border. Upper part of the lateral border is free, while the lower border, it is connected with this arytenoid cartilage by a fibroelastic membrane. This is the fibroelastic membrane that connects the lower border of this epiglottis with this arytenoid cartilage. And these folds are known as the aryepiglottic fold. Aryepiglottic fold. This is the important fold. Aryepiglottic fold. And this arytenoid cartilage posterior surface is connected by the interarytenoid fold. So there is a lumen. This lumen is the laryngeal inlet, the opening through which larynx communicates with the laryngopharynx. So this epiglottis forms the anterior boundary of this laryngeal inlet, while this aryepiglottic fold present on the both sides forms the lateral boundary, while this interarytenoid fold forms the posterior boundary of this laryngeal inlet.